Welcome back to the studio. I'm Michael. So you're not going to believe what has happened in the crypto space over the last 48 hours. We've seen some pretty interesting developments take place, some coming out of Russia and Vladimir Putin. They outright banned crypto payments entirely. We're seeing Charles Hoskinson and Cardano announce some pretty big changes moving forward and updates with regard to the Vasil hard fork. And Ethereum developers have come out and finally made a decision as to what's going on with ETH 2.0. So make sure to stick around to the end for this one because we got some pretty interesting things to talk about. Let's start off with Vladimir Putin and Russia. So first thing is going to be Vladimir Putin recently came out and signed a bill that bans crypto payments entirely in the country. And the important thing here is that when he signed this bill into law, he basically made any crypto, any digital payments illegal. And basically just reaffirmed that the ruble will be the only accepted currency in the country. This is interesting because recently, just within the last 6 to 12 months, Vladimir Putin had been open to the idea of using crypto as a form of payments for international deals and international payments. In addition, we had seen that Russia's Minister of Industry had also come out and stated that crypto payments would be made legal sooner or later in one format and another. But they completely changed their mind. They decided, you know what, let's not make crypto payments legal at all, probably because of what's going on with Ukraine and Russia and a lot of developments there, how it's been playing out, but they have continued to change their mind. Personally, I think that this could just be them using their authority, using fear tactics among the country. They always seem to do this. They always make drastic changes in their policies with crypto. We've seen them outright talk about banning crypto before. Now they have banned crypto payments. Then at other points they have said, you know what, let's use crypto payments. They really just use crypto to whatever benefit they have at that specific point in time. So I'm not too worried about this. I see Russia potentially flipping and changing their mind again in the future, but this is a constant thing we go on and see with Russia and with China even with regard to crypto. Next thing I want to talk about though is going to be with what is happening with Cardano. Cardano holders probably should be pretty happy because we're seeing a lot of positive developments take place with the blockchain leading up to the Vasil hard fork at the end of July. So even though the price hasn't been doing well, we've seen prices drop significantly, Cardano developer activity has been continuing to move up for the last 6 months. And right now, we can see that GitHub commits have risen from 5,400 to 6,200 in the last 30 days. So that's a positive sign, seeing more and more people developing on the blockchain. But we have been seeing that monthly fees registered on Cardano have been declining. So basically what this shows us is that more developers are building on the blockchain, which is why we're seeing developer activity increase, but less users are transacting, let's say buying NFTs, using dApps as of this moment, which is why we're seeing these fees drop significantly. They've dropped about 70 to 80% since just January 2022. So that is what's going on. More developer activity, less user activity as of right now, but that is pretty standard and to be expected with what is going on in the market. When prices are continuing to drop, less people are interested in buying NFTs, using some of these dApps. More people are just focused on keeping their money secure and potentially taking it off of exchanges, and that is what we're seeing. Other thing happening with Cardano is we're seeing the number of smart contracts is on the brink of reaching 3,000. This is very much in line with what is going on with Cardano developer activity, because we're seeing that more developers are using the blockchain like we've talked about, but we're also seeing that they're actually building new projects, whether that's NFT platforms or other dApps. We're seeing that the number of Plutus scripts simply just continues to keep increasing, which is a very positive sign if you're a Cardano holder. This is good for long-term growth, seeing more dApps, more developments take place, more developer activity. All of this is very good, and we will reach the 3,000 mark within the next couple of weeks. It's inevitable. So that is something also to be excited about long-term for Cardano. Other thing going on with Cardano is that we have seen that Charles Hoskinson came out and talked about the role of Cardano and blockchain for government in the future. He talked about this in an interview with Yahoo Finance, and basically he says that blockchain will radically transform government in the future. He says ultimately what he sees is that with blockchain, we're going to see more uses in the future, specifically with government. He talks about people paying taxes, how eventually you're going to be able to track everything on an open source system where people can see how much was paid to the government for X, how much was paid to the government for Y, what did this person pay in taxes. He says it's going to help a lot more with a democratic and decentralized system where everyone can be involved and everyone can see what is going on with each person's account. He also talked about how now the poorest and the most vulnerable person in the society is going to have equal access to people in the government. Doesn't matter if you're a government official or the poorest person in a country. That blockchain makes it accessible and easy for everyone to be treated the same in terms of paying the government and what is going on with government activity. I don't think this is going to be anything that's going to happen soon, but it's a nice vision. It's a nice goal as to what he sees the future for crypto. I think in Africa, where he is currently working across the continent to work with a number of countries, I think that's where we'll see more of this activity take place initially, specifically with Cardano, especially with Cardano. But long term, it is a nice goal, it is a nice vision, and I want to see your thoughts. Do you think we will see this in the future, where government uses more of a blockchain-based system, more of an open source system, where everyone can track everything going on? The last thing with Cardano is going to be with price predictions. So, number of experts, total of 53 fintech experts and specialists have come out and predicted Cardano's price. They have predicted, but that by the end of 2022, we're going to see a price of 63 cents per coin, which is almost a 50% increase from where we're currently at. In addition, they're predicting $6.54 in 2030. This is a pretty big change from what we had just 6 months ago. 6 months ago, experts were predicting a $60 per coin Cardano by 2030. So these are much more reasonable expectations. And ultimately, yes, we're seeing that a number of very prominent people in the crypto space are saying this, like CoinSmart CEO. We're seeing University of Brighton senior lecturer Paul Levy, CEO of NADAX. We're seeing a number of big people in this report. But ultimately, where I see Cardano is that if we see more and more countries across Africa adopt Cardano's blockchain, use it in the school system, use it potentially in government, these price predictions are very, very easy to reach. If we don't see that happen, well, they are more reasonable and potentially could be even higher. We ultimately just need to see what is going on with actual use of the blockchain. Are we seeing more people using it? Are we seeing more countries integrating it? Are there more use cases for it? And that is what is very important. So, like we said, developer activity is continuing to increase. That's a good thing. We're seeing more projects being built. That's a good thing. All of these things are pointing to the fact that Cardano will be used more long term, but ultimately, these predictions, in my opinion, are reasonable, but I think we could see significantly higher if what is going on in Africa with Charles Hoskinson and Cardano actually pays off. Last thing I want to talk about is going to be with what's going on with Circle, USDC stablecoin, and Ethereum. So Circle just disclosed that they have $55.7 billion worth of cash and treasury reserves. This is important because we've seen a lot of issue with stablecoins over the last few months, and seeing that now Circle is going to be issuing monthly reports about what's going on internally, being more transparent with how much money they have, what's in cash, what's in 3-month U.S. Treasury securities. This is going to help crypto market entirely because everyone is so fearful now about losing their money with a stablecoin, putting their money onto high yielding platforms. I think with Circle being more transparent as to what is going on with their actual internal holdings, this is very, very good for crypto. Seeing that transparency is increasing, we're seeing some of the larger stablecoins are now separating themselves and standing out, and Circle, I think, is going to be potentially the largest one in the market. It is very close to surpassing USDT, and the way that they are treating everything that has happened as of recently by becoming more transparent, I think that's only going to help them. It's actually become my personal favorite stablecoin as of recently. I've been using this one significantly more than USDT. So let me know your thoughts on that. And last thing is going to be with Ethereum. Ethereum developers just came out and said that they are penciling in and scheduling for the merger to take place in September 2022. This is something that we have been hearing for a while. We've been hearing Ethereum developers say that ETH 2.0 is coming. It's going to happen in, mid 2022, now late 2022. So I'm not going to say for sure this is going to happen just yet. I'm not convinced, but things are looking better. We've had a couple of testnet events, testnet forks take place. So things are looking much more on track for Ethereum. Now they're saying it's September 2022, but I wouldn't, bet my money on that happening just yet because we've seen a lot of delays take place for ETH 2.0, and there still could be many more. But either way, we're seeing things moving in the right direction for crypto. That is what we want to see. We're seeing things moving in the right direction with Cardano, Ethereum, the overall crypto market. We do have some setbacks with what's going on in Russia, but again, they're always flip-flopping their decisions. We're always seeing them change their mind and use crypto to whatever benefits them at the time. But let me know your thoughts on what's going on. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.